We are currently in the day after Christmas, so congrats to everybody who made it. We're awake, we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and now we're just doing our thing, right? We are currently in real time 5 days out from HBR, closing its doors, but actually opening, doing the thing, right? So 7 income streams in 12 weeks, up, running, like we're doing the darn thing. So make sure you get in. If you're not in yet, you need to jump in. I just set the schedule today, and then we're going to go into what I'm talking about. But we just set the schedule today. And originally what I planned on doing was because it's a live walkthrough, right? It's an actual coaching thing. So you get the videos of the how-to, and then it's like a live coaching as well. Because that's where people are most successful, is when you take their hand and you walk them through it. And originally what I was going to do is I was going to do just one a week. But as I was going through it, I was like, that's not just what they need. They need the beginning one, right? So like for every week, it's going to be like, okay, here's the lay of the land. Here's what we're doing. Let me clear up any questions. There's that call. Midweek on Wednesdays, there's going to be is anyone getting stuck? If so, hop on this call. Let me get you unstuck, because we're doing this thing this week, right? And then on Friday is going to be the call where everybody says what they just did that week. So there's reason to complete, to finish, then to share what you finished. And then of course I'll have any questions I can answer then as well. But we're methodically going through the thing every week for 12 weeks, guys. There's no reason to get stuck. There's absolutely no reason at all to get stuck, especially with the tools and the things that I have for you guys that you just, I create like a whole bat signal thing for you, who your person is, what they're looking for, the content for the year and all of that. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all that because that is all described on another video. I'm just very excited. I'm just very excited about it. So anyway, blue ocean, red ocean, and USPs. Let's talk. Okay, so a lot of you guys that are in my programs will hear me talk about, okay, well, that's red ocean, guys, or that's blue ocean. And let's talk about what that actually means, okay? So there's actually a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. Feel free to read it if you want to, or you don't have to, but that's where the term blue ocean, red ocean comes from, is how it's described in that, and that's why I say it like that. So blue ocean, let's talk about red ocean first. Red ocean is where everybody is sort of like in this space, in this, like it's in a market, right? So everybody's in this space trying to sell something, and they're all selling things with the same USP, right? Unique selling proposition, right? They're all trying to sell with the same sort of like, here's what it is, and here's how, 10K months, or here's how, like it's all with this same thing, right? Network marketing companies are notorious for this, as are car lots and things like that, because they're all literally selling the same thing. And they don't know how to differentiate themselves because they're all selling the same thing, and they're not all, business strategists, quite frankly. And so they just don't really know or understand how to be able to create a USP for a product that everybody else is selling. Well, that is kind of like something that I'm very, very good at. And so with red ocean, everybody's saying, well, buy this thing, buy it because it's discounted, here's a sale that we're having, or, everybody just, they spew out the same messaging. It's the same stuff over and over and over again, right? Blue ocean is where you can have the same exact product, doesn't matter, but you have a different USP. Again, what is that? Unique selling proposition. Write it down if you haven't written it down before or yet. Unique selling proposition. In case you're like, I wonder what HBR is. It's this on steroids, okay? We go deep, you figure things out, you learn things that you're like, what is happening right now? But at the end of it, you're like stellar in your field, okay? So there's that. Anyway, let me get back to what I'm talking about. So for the unique selling proposition, to go blue ocean with it, you guys, is to be able to create messaging and to be able to only offer that, only really talk about that with a certain group of people in a certain way that nobody else is talking about it, okay? That's what a unique selling proposition is, and that is how you go into blue ocean, because I could be selling, well here, let's take, for example, there's something, somebody recently just stole it from me, so I'll talk about it. Something that I had created a USP for in a network marketing company. I'm not going to go into, this is going out to many different places, so I won't go into all the details, but I had created something, USP, right? Unique selling proposition, my own thing, which took selling this product that everybody else has been trying to sell forever and ever, amen, sometimes successfully, mostly not, and because they didn't have it in something, right? And so I put something around it, created it to be a USP, and we went blue ocean with it. And so when we went blue ocean with that, we had no competition at all because we were the only ones doing this thing, okay? Now, what happens when any company or anybody or any visionary goes blue ocean with something? This is something you have to know going into this, okay? Is when you go into blue ocean, people, copycats, pay attention. You see it all the time. You see one company do something and then all the other companies are like, oh, that's working really well, let me do it as well. But they're copycats. They don't do it well, right? And so whenever you're creating your USP and going blue ocean, what you need to know is that you are at some point going to have to pivot. Don't freak out when that time comes. Predict for it. Did you hear me? I wasn't surprised when somebody took my stuff. People have taken my stuff over and over and over again. I'm a visionary. That's what happens. That's what people do. I'm used to it, right? But what we have to do as visionaries, as like real, actual thought leaders, which you are as well, okay? When you're creating this blue ocean thing, know that it will not stay blue ocean forever, and be prepared for a pivot when necessary. But here's the thing. When you pivot, they can't pivot because they didn't create it in the first place. They can only continue to try copying what you do over and over and over again. And here's the deal. When people copy you, this is something else you need to know. This is a mindset thing, okay? When people copy you, they are copying you for one reason alone. They are copying you for their benefit. Listen to me. They're copying you for their benefit. They are number one in their world. They may throw some flowery messaging around it, like this is, you know, we want to be able to offer this and da-da-da-da. That's marketing. They're doing it for their benefit. Don't get it twisted, okay? The reason that it works for you guys in the blue ocean is because you follow me because you are impact driven. You want people to be better. You want to have impact in their lives. You're not you focused. You're not the same. You are not the same as these people, okay? So when you create something, you make sure that there is impact in it, that the people that are going to consume this and do this, like the USP that you've created, whenever they do that, you guys, they're going to be better. When people copy you and they're doing it for their own benefit, all that they're doing is they're creating a shell that they can see. Hear me on this. They're creating a shell that they can see of what you're doing, because they won't know everything you're doing, right? They will create a shell of what looks like what you're doing, but they don't actually care about the transformation of the people involved. Do you hear me? So when they recreate your stuff, which they will, when they recreate your stuff, it will always be subpar. It will always be worse. It will always be probably unorganized and weird and not helpful. When we create things, as I'm showing you in HBR how to create things, right? When we create things, we create them with the person in mind that is going to go through this thing and making sure that they have the lowest barrier to entry to be able to get across the hurdles you know that they're going to go across. All they're creating is content. It's like copying content. This has heart, it has soul, and it's going to be something that can actually walk people through a solution. Does that make sense? They can't copy heart and soul. They could try, but they can't copy heart and soul. So here's what you do whenever they try to copy you, okay? Are we all following? Am I being too ambiguous right now? Let me know. Let me know if you're following right now or if I'm being way too ambiguous. So it's because I'm not trying to I'm not throwing hate or shade, but I want you to learn here. And so blue ocean, whenever people are taking your stuff and they try to copy it, what they're doing is they're creating a version of red ocean. They're kind of taking you, red ocean, you and what you created, they're taking you red ocean a little bit. It's almost like you're purple ocean, right? You're a little bit blue and a little bit red because you're blue because of you, and you're red because now they're trying to make it, make a big thing out of it, okay? That they've copied it. All right, so what do you do then, right? Do you freak out, lay on your bed and cry and say my life is over? No, that's not what visionaries do, right? What we do is we look at it and say, okay, first of all, you can't create this stuff anyway because I created it in the first place. So you can't even make it better because you didn't make it in the first place, right? So there's that. How can I make it better? That's what you do. And this will be prepared before they even take it. My pivot has been prepared. I've known I was going to need it eventually. It actually took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. But they were a little slow. But what we are doing in our USP is we're now adding on to it, where it's like, okay, we created this crazy amount of impact, and now we're about to create even more of an impact that I have done so much market research on and is like hundreds of billions of dollar markets. Hundreds of billions of dollar markets is what we're moving into, okay? And the cool thing is, and I kind of want you to hear this as well, we're just going to touch in on some different things here. The cool thing is that pivot wouldn't have happened yet. It would have sat and waited for somebody to, show their bum, right? But it wouldn't have happened yet until they did that. Right? So they almost unlock a better version. And so now we get to do this better version, and it's going to completely separate us from everyone else, period. Ain't nobody seeing what's about to come coming, right? Even my own team, I talk to them and they're like, we're doing what? And I'm like, yes, that's what we're doing. And so I want you to think about, so stop thinking about my stuff. I send him a thank you card, Donna said. Yeah, I get a little saucy sometimes. It's just because people think they just, in this, it's like this digital world that we live in where people are like, oh, I could take that. Well, actually, legally, no, you can't. Actually, but anyway, so for you and your USP, if you're in HBR, you're going to be determining your USP, and actually in your report that I create for you. So I create a full-on custom bespoke report for you. It's 50 pages long that goes through who your person is, what they love, what they hate, what they've tried before, what a perfect program for them would be, the year of content they're looking for, and blah, blah, blah. You find your USP inside of that, right? But in HBR, we're going to be going through how to set yourself apart in this world, even though Because this is where a lot of people stop. Well, there's other people that already do this really well, name whoever you see on Facebook ads, right? So there's all these other people that are doing this so well, and here they are, and I can't do it alongside them, or I can't do it better than, nobody's asking you to do it better than anybody. We're asking you to do it for your people. Does that hit different? You don't need to be better than whoever. First of all, you don't really know how good they are, okay? Nobody's asking you to be better than anybody. I'm asking you to be everything for your people. That's what I do. I show up as everything for my people. All that I can be, I am for my people. You guys know that. That's all that we're asking for from you. Can you love your people well? If you can be successful, period. And that's what 2024 is about to teach you. That's the awesome thing. So again, let's just recap. Blue ocean, red ocean, USP. Blue ocean, where there is no competition because of the way you are positioning your product and who you are positioning your product or service to. Red ocean is where everybody is it's like the sharks are all eating each other, trying to be able to reach that same consumer with the same messaging, and it's static, and it's loud, and it's chaos, and it's blah. And that's why people feel like they can't compete. Stop trying to compete in that. That's stupid. Start competing over here for your people. These are the people that are like, oh, I can be everything to everyone, right? Everybody needs my product. Yes, you're right. Everybody needs your product, but they can't hear it that way. They need to hear it this way. They need to hear it from you, A, and they need to hear it in a way they can consume, where they see what it means specifically to them and not all of the rest of the world, okay? USP, unique selling proposition. If you didn't write it down yet, please do it. Unique selling proposition. That's where you set yourself apart. It can be the same exact product, but it is positioned specifically for your people and what they are looking for with the messaging they need to hear, period. And understand, again, in the recap, understand your USP needs to continuously evolve, not necessarily publicly, but you need to have a timeline of iterations and evolutions that it's going to go through, because as people try to take it, you need to keep making it better, okay? I love you guys. I will see you later. HBR opens in 6 days, meaning you need to be in it within 5 days, 7 income streams in 12 weeks, up and running. We're doing this thing. Happy 2024. Adios.